You need these three questions answered in your life. When you do not have an answer to these three questions, you are in chaos. You are untethered from the heavens. There is no continuity between the idea of what you are and the rest of what you perceive as existence. When you don't have an answer for these three questions, there's no continuity between the idea of what yourself is and the rest of the world. There is no continuity, no dynamic that you know of between that object and subject that you perceive, okay? Let's do a basic example. If you're a Christian, how do they answer these three questions? Okay, what is reality at large? Well, I know that God created the heavens and the earth, did that shit in 7 days. And there's a hell, so I guess the world at large is heaven, hell, and the earth. Okay, cool. Answered the first question. What is the self in context of that reality? This goes back to that agent and atmosphere relationship that's inextricable, okay? What is the self in context of that reality? So reality we just talked about, what's the self in context of it? Well, you got heaven, well, they got God and angels. You got hell, that's got the devil and demons. And you got earth, that's got humans. Boom. What is the narrative or continuity between the two? So I got reality at large. I got the self within the context of that reality. Now, what is the narrative that connects all that makes the difference, that literally makes the difference? Okay? What is the narrative? Well, God made all this stuff a long time ago. Then here come the devil. He's as bad. So he'd have kicked him out. But then Adam was bad too, because Eve was talking that shit, eating that apple, and now we sit here. Cool. I don't even care what, see, this is it. I don't care what the answers are for your questions. The point is that you have answers. And if you don't, the result of it is what I like to call nihilistic narcissism. It's part of the reason I showed Spiritual Souls video first, because I think when you go down that route, and the reason it becomes so short-sighted and naive is the result of the nihilistic narcissism. Follow me. This isn't a slight. This is an analysis. This is what I mean, because I've been this. Where you run into this thing where everything you've known before comes into question. You know, you hit some new understanding, revelation. You notice something new about the world, yourself, how things work. And it puts everything you know in question. And most people's general response, and you'll see this a lot, especially the flat earthers, is to say, everything I've been told is a lie. All these things are demons. They're not true. There's a big conspiracy to keep me distracted from the truth, kind of shit, okay? And what they're doing, and they don't realize it, is they're desperately trying to find answers to these questions. But because they don't know these are the holes they're trying to fill, and they're feeling their way through it, they'll put damn near anything, especially if it feels good. So you get the Gnostic cults where everyone's like, it's really Sophia and the Archons and everything you think is a lie. You get the flat earthers where it's like, the only reason we know the earth is round is because you told us. No, that's because the only reason you knew the things you knew is because you waited for someone to tell you and you weren't sure about how to do research. But that's okay. A lot of us go through the school trauma. What's the school trauma? What we know as schools, especially in the Western world, are an artifact of colonialism. You separate the parent from the child, miseducate the child, and then reintroduce the child back to the peasant or slave community, the lower class community, and that helps to convert the whole population of them. I think a good example of that is, if not just regular history, a movie called Rabbit Proof Fences. Yeah, that's what you want to look up. If you like the cinematic version of it, or you can just look at history. Western world. Anyways, you need answers to these 3 questions. These 3 questions and their answers are what nest you into reality as you perceive it. These 3 questions and these 3 answers are what nest you, what fit you, tether you to reality, to the heavens. It gives you it tells you what yourself is, it tells you what the world is, and it tells you what the continuity is between the two. Okay? It gives you the subject, it gives you the object, it gives you the subject, and it gives you the dynamic. Okay? Because the dynamic is the meaning. All right, this is what happens with the nihilistic narcissism, okay? When you run up against this thing where everything you thought you knew comes into question, what that is you lose the capacity to find the relevance in things, to find the meaning of things, because everything's meaning was based on the things you thought before, but that just got shattered. And so what you've lost is your capacity to create meaning, to find relevance. But that's not even the thing. This is what people do as a result of that, quite naturally. They start to strip the meaning out of things. They start to take what meaning they used to think it had and just strip it out. Okay, some people go ham with this shit. Like people who can't acknowledge the authority of competence anymore, because the only competence they actually ever registered was just somebody telling them. They didn't know how to know things. They didn't know how to learn. They just kind of listened to people, and now they're revolting because they're mad. They think someone lied to them, but mostly it was because they were already ignorant themselves. Anyways, the natural response is to start to rebuild your idea of how meaning works. And so they strip the meaning out of everything else, and they say things like the nihilism, right? Here's the nihilism part. Nothing has any meaning. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. That's the nihilism part, right? But this is why the nihilism is always a lie. Because what is you in all of that? You see, they don't strip the meaning out of the you. In fact, this is what happens. Because they don't know how to find meaning anywhere else, it all gets condensed into their idea of themselves. They don't know how the world works. It's just crazy. Other people, it's just crazy. Everything but me is just crazy. That's the narcissism. It's a result of the nihilism. But why do you have the nihilism? Because we don't have these questions and answers.